Hey everybody, Chris here. And I want to give a shout out to Factor for sponsoring this week's show. Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. To get started, go to factormeals.com/make it 50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code make it 50 off at factormeals.com/make it 50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping. And now, on to the show. Listen,
It's so hot. Filmmaking is so hot right now.
and that's why we have this podcast, David, because filmmaking is so hot right now.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Make It Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Barkley.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Buggs. Good to see you, man.
Oh, good to see you too. With us today on this journey, as always, is producer Papa Bear. Say hello, sir.
Hello.
I love your background. You're between two ferns.
Two ferns. Intentional.
Is there anything? Is it? It looks like our summaries cover.
He never does anything unintentional.
I had that in mind, actually.
Yeah, it's very good because it might play in. Notice the Easter egg of not having anyone in those seats. That might play into some of the topics we talk about today. But before we get into those topics, we have the man himself from Columbia State Community College's Film Crew Tech Program, David Smith. David, say hello.
Hello. How's it going tonight?
It's going really great. Should we be calling you Prof?
Yeah, you can, but no, just David is fine.
I mean, people do that. Is that a thing?
David, or Mr. Smith, or something like that. And
I like Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith is kind of cold-blooded.
It is. You know, Mr. Smith, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Smith, I cannot feel my legs. Kaiser. So before we get into this, talk to us about this, because we've been talking about this film program now for almost a year, and it's a huge success. I think people are really getting a lot of knowledge and coming to the realization that tucked away at Columbia State is one of the best film tech or film crew tech programs in the region, if not the country.
Yeah, we pride ourselves on breaking that catch-22. How do I get experience if I don't get hired? But how am I going to get experience if you don't hire me? And so we kind of break that catch-22 as much as we possibly can. We're very successful. It's very nice to be able to see students come into their own, and realize they come into the program. I want to be a cinematographer, and they find out they're really good at sound, or they never even considered being an AD. And next thing you know, they're doing spreadsheets and doing it well. So it helps us, add crews to the Middle Tennessee market. But we have students who go down to Atlanta. Go move to Knoxville. They do all over the place. So it is, so when they get on set and say, I need you to build me a Minnesarm, they actually know what you're talking about.
Right.
And they're surprised by that. And we encourage our students. I mean, one of the things they have to do is 180 hours of production work outside of film crew to build their network, because as you all know, it's 90% of the jobs come from a word of mouth or recommendation. And so they have to build their networks, working productions, volunteering at film festivals, doing workshops, being members of groups like the Nashville Filmmakers Guild and things like that. They really need to get out there as much as they possibly can, and we encourage that to do so. And the people are surprised by it, because there is a stigma to film schools, that you get your bachelor's degree and you think you're going to be the next Steven Spielberg or Tarantino.
It's not just film schools.
And so
a lot of people that graduate from college with any degree and think they're going to be highly paid immediately. Yeah.
And so I don't want to disrespect any film school, because most of the film schools are focusing on directing and writing and producing, and they're not crew positions. And whereas our focus is crew positions. And if they want to be a writer director like Nathan, who got best student director last year, or actually this year from last year's film. He wants to be a director. And I say it's important to build that body of work. And, you can do that through school. You can do that through independent filmmaking. Get yourself a DSLR. I mean, if you've got a cell phone, you've got a camera. And you can do it. Don't blame the tool. Just tell a really good story. But since we focus on
easier said than done.
Yeah, it's easier said than done. But it's since we focus on below line training, we have most people say, "Oh, you went to film school." Like, "Oh, yeah, okay, fine," and they go, "You went? I'm a film crew student." And they go, "Oh, okay," and they already know through word of mouth that our students are prepared. Because I don't send anyone out that's not prepared. I do not want someone to go on set and start trying to do selfies with the talent.
And we don't want to badmouth anybody, like you said, but like there are schools I'm thinking of that do that, where those students go out and are essentially useless.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that it's different though. Like David was saying, is that the writers, directors, maybe producers is what they're they're turning out, maybe. But I think it's most of those folks who are going to those higher end film schools want to be that part of the iceberg that you can see.
Yeah,
right. That's it, right? But the part of the iceberg that's the biggest part is the crew. It's the people behind the scenes. It's people making it all work. Yeah. And I think that's also advantageous to the students there because there's more work available to you below the line than there is above. So they're going to get work versus waiting for your opportunity over years and years and years to be a writer on a bigger stage or be a director or even be an actor.
And it helps, the students who graduate be able to become good directors because they know when then someone they can't say, "Oh, I don't want this to happen," and it'd be an unrealistic ask, because it takes 3 hours to set that up, and having worked their way up or having done crew positions, they understand that, it's unrealistic for me to ask that. Let's try this instead. And they know what they're, they can speak the language.
Now I understand that the cohort is going to get bigger. It was started at 20. It might balloon to a different number. Can you talk about that? And then how do they get, so somebody's watching this, about 40% of our audience is age 15 to 25.
Right.
So maybe it's, Nick, what's the number on that?
Oh, I don't know the number on
maybe I meant 15 to 35, but I think 15 to 25 is at least 25% of it. They're watching this. They want to join. And I don't think there's any age limitation, by the way. So
no, there's not.
You want to join this thing. So anybody who wants to pursue this, how do they do it? What do they need to do? What are the steps they need to take? And how large is the cohort?
The cohort is 20 students a year. I've talked with my dean and he's allowed me to add a couple of more students. Basically, as long as the students have a seat and at the table and they're not, meandering around with their hands in their pockets. They're actually getting their hands dirty and to be able to, when we start teaching cameras, that they're able to get their hands on the camera and not sit back and watch other people do it. To go is just simple as columbiastate.edu/FCT for film crew technology. So again, columbiastate.edu/film crew technology or FCT, and fill out the application. And we do interviews to make sure that they do it. They don't have to have a portfolio. They don't have to have history of production experience. In fact, we prefer people to come in a little green so that we don't have to unteach bad habits. And so they end about this time, and then we start in the fall, and it is 5 hours a day, 4 days a week, jump in the deep end of the pool and start to swim. And I'm there to keep you from drowning. 5 hours a day, 4 days a week of just intensity. And some of it's not. Even some people realize film is hard work. 12-hour days is not for them. Because we do productions every semester. And so when they get on production and it's 3:00 in the morning and it's, we've been there for 6 hours or 7 hours and they still have 3 or 4 more hours to go and they realize it's hard. And, it's better to find that out at this age, or at a younger age or early in the program rather than
early in your life. So you can pivot out of
4 years of film school and then graduating and realizing, oh, wow, this is not for me. It wasn't as, fun, and it didn't look, this is not as fun as the special features on the Lord of the Rings discs.
Right.
And I've had students say that. I'm like,
Right.
well, no, it's hard work. It's very rewarding. There's nothing like hearing someone laugh at a joke you helped to create, or to cry at a moment you helped create. There's nothing like getting that response from an audience. And so, it's not for everyone. And, but it is if you want to create and be a part of that creative process.
Well, you heard the man, David Smith,
That's
right
it.
here, Prof. Professor David Smith. Go do what he says. Give us the website one more time, David.
columbiastate.edu/FCT.
That's Frank Charlie Thomas.
Right.
FTC. Do it now. The cohort is small. It'll fill up before you know it. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, man. It was great. It's a great podcast. I love it. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Man, that means the world to us. We're glad you're part of it as well. All right,
thanks, man. We appreciate you.
Thanks.
Right.
Be good. My pet peeve, Nick, by the way, and Papa Bear, is when an intern shows up or a student shows up late to set. Like, they don't come at their call time, but then act like they didn't. I guess it's like if you show up late,
walk in, and just start working.
If you show
like
up
it's
late
nothing.
and you're like, "Hey, I'm so sorry, I was late. Here's what happened, ABC." That's not great. That's not a great first day. But the ones that get me are the ones that would be like, "I'm here," and I'm like,
what about wait, Chris? What about people like me who may or may not have seen a big clock, the clock on the wall that everybody could see, right? What about people like me who may or may not have changed the time on the clock? So when I get there, I'm always on time.
Oh, I see. Well, they say a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
That's right. And I just, just shift that thing a little bit, and then when I get there, everything's copacetic.
But truthfully, what gets you really is the speed of a set, and that will be really the defining moment for you on whether or not you're going to be useful to the crew, the cast, the producers, or not. That's the litmus test. The 12-hour days that David brought up. Here's the deal: if you like this job, those 12-hour days, it's a lot of work, but it flies by. Like, it's like, oh.
Yeah, but that's his point.
That's
his point, right?
If
it's not for you, it's not for you, it's not for you, right? That's what and that was perfect. I love that. It's just, you got to go through it. And the sooner you go through it, the sooner you know whether or not it's for you.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And they've been a great partner of ours. It's just been really great to have them on as a partner, and they're doing a good thing in the world, in my opinion. So let's talk about some of the things we're going to hit today.
Okay.
All right. We've got might be talking about sort of movie stars becoming a thing of the past. Was Mission Impossible a flop? This latest one? Maybe talk about that. The shrinking window of conversation around theatrical releases. Is that something we're perceiving? Is that real? Is that fake? AI. I think battle lines are being drawn in AI. Like, this is going to be humanity's sort of last stand if you really don't want this to be part of creative and maybe part of life in general. But there literally is
you have no choice.
12 months, 6 months maybe to push back against this. And then I also have like a little hypothetical that I want to bring up and just get, your answer, Nick, and then Papa Bears. And just maybe just like talk about how one should even respond to this really popular meme that's going around the internet. So let's start at the top here, Nick. I know you have some things you want to address right away. And by the way, for the audience, we will have a things we should know today and maybe some other fun segments as well as a surprise. So, Nick, what's on your mind here?
Well, let's go to the first one and just talk about this idea of the theatrical release window, because it's actually been something that I don't know what the answer is. So it's really, that's why I want to talk about it, which is like, so I saw Ballerina a couple weeks ago, and I haven't really talked about Ballerina. So I don't know if you guys have seen, I don't think you guys have seen it, but
I don't think I've heard of it.
yeah, it's
Who's
the
in
new
this? What is
John,
this movie?
it's in the John Wick.
Oh yes, I have heard of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, I have
exactly.
heard of it.
In the John Wick lore. So, you know, my son and I went to go see it, and it's an entertaining movie. Right? Does it give you the John Wick feels? No, because Keanu Reeves is a different animal. Right?
Okay.
No one's doing that. You can't cash that check again. You're not going to do it. But it was entertaining in that world, and it was cool to see a different aspect of that world, because, you know, they're really good at world building in the John Wick series. There's all these characters, there's all these things happening around you. You see it kind of like when they go to the hotels, you see all these other people. When you're out there in the world, you see all these other people who are assassins. It's bigger than just John Wick.
You take your son to a lot of movies where people die a lot.
Yeah, he loves that.
Can we talk about? Should we talk about this, Nick?
No, he loves that stuff, man. That's his thing.
He's
an action adventure kid. I mean, I was gonna go see. I was seeing Predator and Terminator and Aliens, and I mean even Lethal Weapon. Like, we were all watching these movies around the same age. Yeah, around the same age. So it's
well, it's like he's like a godson, or is my godson, and I don't know if what are you giving me here? Should tragedy?
He's gonna be he's gonna be well armed.
Like what's going on?
No, he's gonna be well armed. He'll be able to protect the family. Yes. Yes, like, you know, he's swinging swords in the kitchen, you know.
Oh,
so
shit.
But yeah, man. So anyway,
Ballerina, throw me that pineapple.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, he'll cut it 17 times before it hits the ground.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, Ballerina, right? So I'm talking about it now. Right, we're having this conversation now.
Yeah.
Talk about Ballerina, and I just wonder, is it too late to talk about Ballerina? Can I not, or should I not talk about Ballerina anymore? Because it came out weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the cycle of film, you know, this isn't like it used to be, right? Because we can wax poetic on the way things used to be, and you can call it old school if you want. But you had these films that came out when we would go to the theater when we were younger, and then I mean, you can talk about it for months.
Back in the year 2000.
Don't make me do it. So, but that's the thing. It's like we would talk about it for a while, but there's so much content right now that it's like, that's old news already. Or is it? I don't know. I'm just wondering. It feels like it, because I'm not hearing about Ballerina anymore. Honestly, like all these movies that come out, Lilo and Stitch. I mean, honestly, it just came out, but now that the box office thing is done, right? It looks like, how did it do the first weekend? How did it do the second weekend? How did it do against the other movies? Once that conversation is done, it's like nobody's talking about it anymore. So that's what I'm curious about. I'm like, am I imagining things?
Right?
Yeah, but am I imagining things, or is the window to talk about things just getting smaller and smaller and smaller every day?
I don't think you're imagining things. I think the window is getting smaller. Intern Sophia asked me the other day about Lilo and Stitch, and about, was there like, cultural appropriation here? I'm like, I haven't seen it. And I would never watch a movie and come away with any questions like that. Like, I don't watch the movie to figure out how I'm going to be offended or how they spoke to and I love Sophia. She knows that. But I don't watch it to figure out, did they make my group feel good? But when she asked me that, I thought, but that's how movies stay in the conversation.
Yep. There you go.
So she, in a way, she's spot on, and she's representing what matters today. And I don't think it's an age thing as much as it might be a generational way of watching a movie, in the technology that exists, and how we watch movies and how we consume content and how we find out about things, right? You find out about a movie so much through social media before you even hit the theater. You already know what the water cooler talk has moved from the office to the internet. And so you already know what the talk is, and that talk is what draws people to the theater to watch it, so they can do that confirmation thing, right? You ever meet a person who
about the same thing?
You ever meet a person who at a dinner party, and is like, hey, he farted. And then somebody else walks into it. He's right. It's like there's something very human and stupid about that. Like you always have the confirmation person. It's like he's right. Somebody did fart. Now we have a problem. Now, Papa Bear, we have to find out who farted because 2 people said a fart happened. It's crazy. So you have the conversation in the water cooler, and then you go to the theater, and you have all these people that are confirmed. Lilo and Stitch canceled or whatever.
But hold on. But let me go with that a little
without
bit
that
and
conversation,
say,
which I don't think Ballerina had.
Yeah, no.
It goes away.
But here's the thing. I just want to jump in and maybe say that that's not what they're doing. I wish they were. I wish they did what you just said. The people that are talking about the movie.
Oh,
the people that are hearing the conversation, haven't seen the movie, hearing the conversation, and then you're saying they'll then go to the movie because of the conversation.
Right.
And I feel like that's partially true. Some people will do that.
If they were going to go, that's what drives them there. Yeah.
I feel like the majority of the conversation, whether real or bot created, just perpetrates the negative conversation. So like cultural appropriation, right? You'll hear that double down and people will jump into the conversation not having ever seen the movie.
Yes.
And then they'll be like, did you hear? So the whole conversation is gossip, right? It turns into, did you hear that? And then someone just decides to accept it and then says, oh, I'm not going to go watch that movie because I heard that they did blah, blah, blah. But to your point, Chris, that seems more juicy of a conversation than me telling you, you know what, man, I enjoyed that movie. You know, them going into another piece of the John Wick universe was really entertaining. And even though I was wary about it, because John Wick's John Wick, you can't do that again.
What's your rating on this movie?
It's R. So it's like, but
no,
you can't.
No.
Wait. My rating. You said my rating. Well, I'm going to give it
5 stars.
No.
I'm not saying is it 5 stars. I'm saying go from 1 to 5 stars. Use that scale.
Oh, if I'm going to 1 to 5, I'm probably going like 3. Because I'm in that 6 or 7.
Like 7.
Yeah, it's in that 6 or 7 because it was good action-wise. Like if you wanted to watch an action film, which is what my son and I were going for, it has all those pieces.
Yeah.
All the pieces of the puzzle. If you're going for another window into the John Wick universe, it has that, right? You get all of that stuff. Was the story as like phenomenal? No, I didn't think so. It made sense as again, it's tangential to the universe. It makes sense, but I wasn't like excited about the story. Was everything, you remember John Wick, if you're watching it and you ever say it's super believable, then you're like, you're being a little bit ridiculous, right? So I don't want to say that one of the dings I gave it was it wasn't believable, but there's pieces of it that I was like,
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I always go back to Batman versus Superman from years ago. And at one point in the movie, Superman throws Batman through 3 garage walls. Like, you know, the parking garages, PB?
Yeah.
You know how thick that concrete is?
Pretty thick.
Superman throws Batman, who is a human, through 3 of those.
Right.
Batman gets on one knee, shakes it off, and stands up. I said, it, I am done with this movie.
Well, it's got the protective suit on.
Exactly. Come on, Chris.
Like this movie has
I know
it's jumped the shark.
So
and in the last John Wick, I've talked about it. It was bad to me, but the Foley person and the editor needed Oscars.
Oh yeah, it's so Oscars. Yeah, it's so but it took all of that.
So good. Now let me give you 2 examples that counter this, because I think you're right. I'm with you on it, but it does cut both ways. And this really speaks to your point. It's so crazy. Just a few months ago, Sinners was out.
Yeah.
And no one could stop talking about it, and it was all positive. Now, was there talk about, here's what happened. The conversation, this is a good movie from an auteur filmmaker. It didn't seem to hold enough buoyancy to keep people going to the theater, so the story transmuted into his contract.
Yeah.
Oh, here's what happened. Here's the deal he got. Here's how he got over on studios. Finally, somebody rises up, or, oh, this is, And then you end up with Ryan Coogler and Democracy Now! Saying, I don't want people to talk about this. I want them to talk about the movie. It was everything to me. And so it feeds into what you're saying, Nick, like that buoyancy of just, hey, this is an awesome movie, didn't seem to sustain the viewership. Now, the second example is The Phoenician Scheme. Now, me and PB had the pleasure of watching this recently, Wes Anderson's latest film. Me and you, PB, laughed from beginning to end. And I realized that makes us complete outsiders. So
Yeah, we're just
weirdos.
idiots.
We're just idiots. And this movie is not for everybody.
Well, Wes Anderson isn't for everybody.
Yeah,
I think
I'm just
that's
going to say that.
And, yeah.
It's incredibly meticulous. But the people that went there, I don't think there was one person in the theater that wasn't laughing, that wasn't full on in pleasure mode. They enjoyed
They're Wes
it.
Anderson people, man.
So the West, yes, Nick, that's what I was going to say.
You don't look
There's
away.
another thing that brings people to the theater, which is who or what is in it. Like who made it or who's starring in it. And those people still have the ability to drag their people to the theater, no matter what the conversation is about it.
Yeah. And that's great. But I think that's after the movie's over. And what I mean by that is like, because that's what it feels like today. The movie's over after 2 weeks. Yeah. Maybe 3 weeks.
Even the really good ones. Like Sinners was out pretty quick, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it disappears, and it disappears from the conversation. And maybe that's also why it disappears, because there's a break in between those releases, right? You get theatrical, and then at some point it makes it to streaming. But that's when the conversation dies. But one of the reasons I bring it up is like, do I have to think about that from a conversation standpoint? I don't go see every movie the day, the weekend, the week that it comes out. So if I see that movie 3 weeks later, or maybe I see it when it's streaming, and then I want to talk about it, am I too late? Or can people be like, oh man, that movie came out 2 months ago. We don't want to hear about that. We don't want to hear your thoughts on that movie. I'm like, bro, I just saw it. It's new to me. Why can't I talk about it?
People our age, you'll be able to talk about it because they likely haven't seen it, and they probably watch somewhere like 5 to 10 movies a year tops. But if you want to be in the conversation like we are in actual film, yeah, you're too late. And the reason why is because it's only cool to talk about something at the beginning of its life cycle.
So it's like an avocado.
Yeah. And
what's funny, you got to get it right when it's right, bro.
Right when it's squishy. What is his hand? What is his hand?
I know what that is. That's squishy. That looks like a tarantula or something.
This is the sound it makes when you squish Pablo Shea. Like that. Yeah. So, I think when we think about movies, so PB, F1 coming out this weekend, already have tickets for it. Brad Pitt, the handsome black guy. I don't know what his name is. Congratulations.
PB.
Oh, you thought I said Brad Pitt, the handsome black guy. Oh, he can do that too. He made 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what?
Shout out to Brad Pitt and he's
black now, Brad.
He's got black children.
Get those contacts.
So yeah. But here's the deal. It's an Apple movie. It's an Apple movie. So is Apple going to put pressure on the theatrical distribution to get it over to their channel as soon as possible? That's the world we live in. When the streamers own the studios, like if Amazon goes out and Apple go out and buy all the remaining actual studios, then now we're really living in a new world where it makes no sense to leave it in someone else's distribution bucket. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Why would they do that? So they have a role in killing the conversation, Nick.
Yeah, I have an off-color comment I have to just drop because I've been thinking about this. You just mentioned the handsome black guy, and it's sad you don't know his name. I'm just gonna say, like,
so it's on color.
Exactly. So here's the thing. I was curious. I was laughing. I probably said this to my wife the other day. I was like, I bet you, like, when he was born, I'm trying to figure out what it was, because there's so many different things I could say. I'm like, was his head like really, really big when he was born? And his dad was like, damn, son. And they were like, okay, Damson Idris. Like, that's his, like,
Damson Idris is his
You know what I'm
name.
saying? That's his name. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because
Well,
I'm just saying that just sounds.
Maybe that wasn't what was big.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to say it out loud because I don't know him like that.
Damn, son.
I said it to my wife, but I didn't say it on the podcast.
Yeah. Now, I went to high school with a guy named, and shout out to you if you're out there listening to this. You're a very cool dude, but his name was John Revolution Head. And he had the biggest noggin I've ever seen.
No way.
He didn't have a 4-head. He had a 5-head.
He had a 5-head.
And
he didn't have dreams. He had movies.
That's right. When he would take flights, they'd be like, "You need to check that."
That's right.
He couldn't even get that thing in the. He had an enormous noggin, and so here's what was crazy. I only knew him as John for years.
Okay.
So we're in high school, and
Yeah.
I get the yearbook, and I just cannot. I almost passed out. So I open the yearbook and I see that his name is John Revolution Head.
Well, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Like stranger than fiction, man. Like this is crazy. So
well, anyway, it's like it's like it's like one of the the darkest kids in my class. His name was Jason Blackman. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I mean,
this is what
just roll with it.
Now, me and PB looked up Barkley, our last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just means people who hung out by the birch trees. So apparently in Scotland, there were these people who would come through where the birch trees were, and you'd get got. Like, don't go over there. That's where the Barkleys are. They're hanging by the damn birch tree over there.
That's right. You're being very Barkley.
Yeah. And so literally, like, if everyone in my family can climb well, it's not an accident. It's not an accident. It's in our DNA. We've been climbing trees.
I'm just not going there.
It's my favorite thing to do when I was a kid.
Yeah. Now, me and you both know why that's a silly statement. PB, we'll keep that between me and you for now. But the but this does lead into sort of the conversation around Mission Impossible, which I really liked. I thought the last one was really great. I have friends that hate it. I had one friend that said that he would have walked out if he weren't with a group. And I'm like, wow. And it's all because Act 1 is like mostly flashbacks to other Mission Impossibles. Now, in my mind, Act 2 and 3 make up for that in spades. I mean, the man hangs from an airplane.
Yeah, and I've heard, but I've heard the total opposite of that perspective, where those flashbacks and those callbacks to the previous films, it's part of not just the nostalgia, it's part of what is this, number 10 of the films, right? But but it's like before that there was a series from 1988 to 1990. And then before that, there was a series in the 70s.
When did it start, PB? The first,
I think it's 73 or something like that. And it went on from
franchise.
The series on
TV
TV.
series.
The TV series? Oh, it was well before that.
Early in the 70s, I think.
Was it?
And went on for several years.
Yeah, maybe it was 60.
But what I'm saying is that's what it was supposed to be. And if you walked into it not realizing that, and maybe you're annoyed, but at the same time, it's like, respect it. It's a callback. They were, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, we've been doing this for a long time.
It's supposed to be the last one.
Exactly. And that's why it's not called Debt Reckoning. It's called Final Reckoning, right? It's like, this is it. This is over. But so anyway, I've seen a lot of reviews that basically said the polar opposite. Like, they did the thing. They saluted the series, the film series and the TV series, in a bombastic Tom Cruise.
It's amazing. I highly recommend everybody to go watch it. I watched it with my daughters and my wife, and everybody left there with their adrenaline on 10. Like, nice. Like the scene where he's in the submarine is, you don't even know how they filmed that. Like, I'm sure a lot of it is CGI, but like, just the largesse of the film, I highly recommend it to everybody. And it didn't flop. The problem is a movie that big has to make so much money. Like it's made $547 million worldwide so far.
Yeah,
A
so the
lot
thing
of
is
coin.
that there people are I don't know if the people are calling it a flop anymore. I think in the beginning, like the first week,
Yeah.
they were saying that it totally underperformed because Lilo and
Yeah.
Stitch just went crazy. But their budget was 400 million, so that's 135%,
Right.
win on that. But if you compare it to Minecraft, so again, that's 135%, right?
Yeah.
Minecraft, 636%. Their budget is $150 million.
Right.
They made $954 million. They made almost $1 billion on that movie.
Right.
If you look at Sinners had a $90 million budget, made $360 million. They're at 400%, right?
Right.
So if you're comparing it to the other films that came out, it was a relative flop, but they still made 135%. And they did the thing that they wanted to do, is to salute
Yeah.
to all these films in a major way. And hey, the people who made that film, I mean, they're not starving.
And here's the thing: the
You
movie,
know what I'm saying?
exactly,
Like,
the movie came out at the end of May, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. I
I
think you're right.
I don't even think you can see it in the theaters anymore. Just to your point.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So here's a movie
Unless it's a
that's
special
so
showing,
big,
right?
it's clearly designed to be a tent pole. You spend $400 million on it, and that doesn't count the P&A because
Right,
IMDb
of
Pro
course.
never gives you the P&A. So they probably spent $1 billion. Okay, right? So they spent 400. They probably spent between 2 and 4 on the P&A. So maybe they spent 6 to
That's
800
Yeah,
million.
exactly, because it's already such a big franchise.
Yeah.
They don't need to market as much as some of the other ones. And Tom Cruise hasn't stopped running the circuit for like the past several months. Like he's been on everything. I see him all over
Yeah,
the place.
he does it the way Will Smith used to do it, or still does it if when he's in those movies. But here you run into the agent sort of the problem. Or maybe that's the right way to put it. But like basically, when your buyer knows something about you, the seller, that usually causes a problem for the seller. So if you're Mission Impossible and you're trying to buy up ad space in Times Square, the people who sell that ad space know that who you are and they give you a premium price.
Jack up the price.
Here's what we used to call it, nigga. You call it the presidential wrench problem, right? So if any of us go and buy a wrench from Home Depot, it'll be $20. But if the president does it, it's $1,000. Why? Because the seller knows something about the buyer. Right. And this is a problem that persists in almost every industry, and it goes back and forth. And so this is why in real estate, if you're really wealthy, you never buy or sell the property yourself. You always do it under a lawyer's name or under a trust, because you won't get a fair price if people know you have the money, and you won't buy for a fair price if people know you're rich and you're buying it. Right.
Yeah. Well,
So
then the other part of it is the star factor, where
they
you might
probably
actually
did
get a
pay
discount.
top dollar for marketing.
Right, but you might get a discount because now that ad provider, that building, that billboard, they actually get the chance to promote that type of film. Right, we get associated with that
that's
thing in
optimistic,
some
man.
way. Right, that's another way to look at it. But here's the thing with Mission
Yeah.
Impossible,
Yeah.
and this is what I wanted to talk about, was I've heard it said that like Tom Cruise is the last movie star.
Mhm.
And there's parts of me that are starting to believe that, like Brad
Timothée
Pitt,
Chalamet.
Brad Pitt, for me, I would have thought like maybe he's in that same area, that same zeitgeist, but there's been so much other stuff going on with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie that's taken over the conversation to a degree about him, that maybe he's not the guy anymore. But I personally kind of do feel that. And again, it's just because I'm from a different generation,
Yeah.
where I was super excited to see certain actors in films.
Yeah.
Right. And you mentioned Timothy, and maybe he's got that following where people are just like, I really want to see him, because anytime he plays a character, it's phenomenal. Right.
Yeah.
He embodies that character.
Mhm.
But now I feel like there's a lot of stuff like these, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
okay, he's
All right.
out there doing all this stuff, but I don't want to see him again.
You
Why?
don't?
We've
Wait,
had
wait,
this
wait.
conversation.
Why don't you
What
wanna why
we had the
just
conversation
remind us because
because
we
it's
got new
The Rock.
viewers.
It's The Rock in every movie. He's
Just
just The
lost
Rock.
his
He's
identity.
Yeah, he's not the film character. He's The Rock in a new
He's
movie.
the
He's The
wrestler
Rock
in the movie.
as the
Yeah.
Black Adam. He's The Rock
He's
in
got a new movie
Jumanji.
where he's not gonna be himself apparently coming
I
out.
know, but
Yeah.
it's I'm hoping he does well because if
He's
it's
gonna be
more of a
invisible.
drama, yeah, right. If it's a drama, then we can take it and we can say that he's embodied something new. But if it's not, if it's just him again, then I don't want anything to do with it.
Right.
So
Okay.
same thing with Kevin Hart. Like Kevin Hart, he's in a lot of stuff, but he's Kevin Hart in
Yeah.
everything.
But he's not an
It doesn't
action
matter.
star. He's not like a
But he's an actor because he's in these movies. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is I'm getting a lot of that. Timothy Chalamet, I don't know. I'm not.
Dune.
I mean, it's Timothy. Like every time I see him, it's just him. Like, give me something different. Embody something different. And I feel like
All
it's
villain.
just
This is what
I don't
happened with
know.
Brad Pitt. Timothy Chalamet is going the Brad Pitt route and the DiCaprio route in my mind because they pick movies that are character pieces. So you think DiCaprio, like think about Aviator, think about
Oh
some
yeah,
of the
man.
things where he's got a. Whereas Tom Cruise has picked tent pole after tent pole after tent pole, and really has owned this sort of Mission Impossible space where that's just who he is.
But before that though,
And
man.
when if you close your eyes and say, I want you to picture Tom Cruise doing something, immediately they're just going to see him running full speed.
Of course, that's his thing. Or right now, for me, I still see him sliding across the floor in that
Or
shirt. You know
risky
what I'm
business.
saying? Like
That's it.
exactly.
Risky business or him running
Or in his
full speed.
suit, with Rain Man. The thing is, like, there's been a lot of those characters. He played a senator, in the movie
No,
with
he's a
Glenn
fine
Close.
actor. He's a fine actor, but I'm
Yeah.
simply saying that like Brad will take a role that has where he's eating the whole time, like Ocean's 11.
Yeah, or Meet Joe Black, man.
Or Meet Joe, right.
Yeah, what I'm saying though, so here's the deal. Here's the real concern that I have about the future of these actors, the star.
Yeah, we've talked about this.
Is that
who are the men coming behind these men?
Well, not even the men, just that I feel like the world is diluted for what a star is. Right? Social media has a billion stars, man. Look at the number of followers on random people you've never seen before. It's like, holy crap, I've never heard of this person. They've got 5 million followers. Like, should I know who that person is? Like, why don't I know who that person is? This person got 10 million followers. Like,
yeah.
So it's so diluted.
Faith Montoya, friend of the podcast. I mean, to say that I knew exactly who she was before we brought her into our orbit and we were researching her would be not true.
Right.
But she's got a massive following.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's what's happening.
Over 3
There's so
million.
many people with
More
massive
now,
followings on multiple different platforms that if I'm not watching the Oscars, I'm not saying me. Some people aren't watching the award shows because their favorite TikTok star isn't there, right? Because that's their star. Like, why wouldn't their star be there? And that's what I'm saying is like, that's it. It's just so diluted that the people that we saw as stars are no longer on such a high pedestal as they used to be. And because of that, it's now lessening what a movie star is, what a movie is. It's not as important as it once was. We all had to see our movie star before.
Yeah.
And now we can just open our phones and we can see somebody that we're obsessed with. So that's the part that's kind of killing me. It's like, there's content is so diluted that we're losing hold of stardom. It means something totally different now.
The Jesus of this movement is Kim Kardashian, and it started, or you could blame reality TV and all the networks, but the disconnection between top 1% talent and fame has been diluted. Let's go into some things we should know with producer Papa Bear. Producer Papa Bear, are you ready? Can you drop it on us?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
Pregnant pauses.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
The first thing you need to know is that the Things We Should Know segment is brought to you by Cotton Bureau, who sponsors our online shop where we offer buttery soft t-shirts, long and short sleeved, as well as hoodies both pullover and zip up hats, and much more. Just go to cottonbureau.com, search for the Make It podcast, and find your favorite apparel in your favorite colors. Many available emblazoned, Nick's favorite word, with your favorite cities like Los Angeles, New York, London, Toronto, Tokyo, Chicago, Atlanta, and of course, here in Nashville. Don't wait. Go to cottonbureau.com, make your own personal Make It Podcast connection to cottonbureau.com and search for the Make It Podcast. So,
thank you, PB. I appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome. I've got one on myself. We were talking about Mission Impossible. And by the way, Nick, the TV series started in 1966.
66.
I knew it was. I was like, this is the old.
I grew up
series.
with that.
Yeah.
Went through 73. Starred.
See, that's what I was saying. It went through 73. That's it. I had the 73 right.
And starred Peter Graves and many others. But by the way, you may know or not that Peter Graves was the brother of James Arnaz, who was Gunsmoke.
Oh,
look at that
character.
Wow.
Was he cousins with
already
Magnum
a
PI?
thing we should know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you for that.
We've been talking about movies being flops at the box office. So,
and what constitutes a flop? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What constitutes that? And, how do you define that financially? So what has been the biggest movie flop in terms of financial loss?
Ooh, I'm going to guess Waterworld.
That's a really good guess.
PB, am I right or wrong? Well, hold on. Nick, what do you think? You love Waterworld. I don't hate it, but I know you love it.
No, I don't love it.
You want to live on Waterworld.
I enjoyed it. I told you.
You ever meet these people?
The female
Nick,
lead was not good. She was not a good actress.
True.
That was.
Who was the female lead in Waterworld?
No one knows. No one knows.
You ever meet these people, Nick, that would like to see Earth burn so that as the flame finally hits them, they can look at you and say, "Told you so."
I don't know the people who want that to happen, but
there's people that they exist. There are people out there who would rather oblivion happen, Armageddon happen, and be right than to realize that they were wrong about humanity or people doing good in the world or whatever. It's a really strange illness. Anyway, back to you, PB.
Yeah, I told you so, people.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you had a guess?
But they're doomsdayers too, PB. They're like
biggest film flop financially. I want to say it was actually one of the Star Wars movies when they rebooted. And I don't even know. There was what did the Star Wars series start with? 4?
I'm the wrong guy. I'm the wrong guy.
I know. I'm trying to episode 4.
I think it started with 4.
Episode 1. Dang it. I want 5, 6. I know it's killing me. I'm
I was outside absorbing.
I want to say episode
and
2 or something.
Basketball and football while you were watching Star Wars, trying to figure out if it flopped financially. By the way, PB, how else could a movie flop? Could it flop? Is there other? I'm being serious. Is there if it didn't flop financially, can it flop
critical acclaim?
Can it flop critically? Yeah.
Yeah.
Flop socially? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know which one it is. It's episode. Let's just say episode 2.
Ishtar.
Star Wars.
Wow.
Star Wars episode 2.
Okay, mine is Waterworld. Yours is Star Wars episode 2.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the Star Wars movies. Anyway.
Yeah.
Drop it on us.
Well, good news. Neither of you are correct.
Good
news.
Hold on.
Par for the course.
How old is this movie?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the year it came out,
Okay.
2012.
20. This
2012.
is recent.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is it Eddie Murphy's Norbit? Or any Eddie
No, that
Murphy
was earlier
movie?
than
Is
that.
it
That was
any Eddie
earlier than
Murphy
that.
movie?
That was terrible. That was so
No.
bad. No, because their budgets could not have been high.
But
Like,
there's a movie that Eddie Murphy made for $100 million, and I think it made
what,
12
Coming to
million.
America too?
No. It was like a Norbit movie. It was like something like that.
Oh, no,
Eddie
Norbit.
Murphy owns one of the
Terrible.
biggest flops in movie.
Oh, Bowfinger.
Okay.
Bowfinger.
That movie was terrible.
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 Horrible.
Like, it was so bad. I don't know what it is.
That's terrible.
2012.
That's terrible.
That's
Horrible.
terrible.
It's my really bad Charles Barkley.
Right.
Hey, you
All right,
guys,
PB,
you guys
what is
might
it?
have to help with figuring this out, why it's considered a financial flop, taking into account Hollywood accounting.
Sure.
But the biggest movie theatrical flop in terms of financial loss.
Wait.
2012.
Oh,
It's clicking in.
No, but it's 2012. But the movie. Oh, Chris, remember we had the talk track. We were talking about Men in Black.
Yeah.
Major losses. The movie continues to take major losses, right? But like maybe one of the later ones. But that wasn't 2012. That was so early.
Yeah,
All right, never mind.
Men in
Go.
Black is successful.
Yeah, there's a whole. But no, remember we have a whole different.
The one that's Will Smith is Wild Wild West.
No. We were talking about the
really
fact that these movies on paper.
No, I know the Hollywood accounting. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, PB. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I won't interrupt you again.
Is most often cited as Disney's 2012.
Interruption. I'm just kidding.
It's a Disney film.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yes.
No.
Yes, based
I
off of the
can't.
latest stuff. But go
John
ahead.
Carter.
Oh wow, that's right, John Carter.
Thinking we should have known that. We didn't. Well,
No,
we shouldn't. I didn't
didn't
know that it
watch
was the biggest, but we talked about that movie. I think it was a good movie. Wait. Why do we talk about that movie? Jim Frederick. We talked about that from a marketing perspective. That movie's apparently actually a really good movie,
Frederick.
but the marketing around that movie failed that movie. And what was the movie that came out at the same time? There's another movie that came out around the same time that just
Mr. Carter
blew it out of the water. No. No, that's their flop. That's their marketing flop.
Sean Carter.
It was a marketing thing. Go ahead. Tell us more.
Despite a massive budget at that time of around $250 million.
That's still a massive budget. We got to stop with this shit where 250 is not a big budget. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, it only did like 64 million opening weekend. It grossed only 284 million worldwide, resulting in a loss of approximately $200 million for Disney, according to the reports. This makes it one of the biggest box office bombs in cinematic history.
One of?
Yeah. Well, there are other
financial
bombs, but this was the biggest.
Definitive things we should know we've ever gotten.
Close, yeah.
There it is. I knew it. I'm looking it up. John Carter's marketing has been called one of the worst marketing campaigns in movie history. The filmmakers believe that the decisions made in marketing the film were the primary reason for its failure. A new studio executive team with minimal experience in that side of the business was in charge, and not as emotionally invested in its success as the filmmakers had been. Furthermore, unbeknownst to them, Disney CEO Robert Iger had already begun talks with George Lucas about buying Lucasfilm and the Star Wars franchise, eliminating any incentive the company had to launch a successful competing film franchise.
There you go.
It's an inside job.
Well, yeah, they're the most sightings for
shout out to my
financial flop
hat people out there, my conspiracy theorists. Where are you at, conspiracy theorists?
John Carter.
Rise up.
Yeah.
Rise
I take
up.
that back.
Inside job.
I take that back. For Mission Impossible this opening weekend. But and several sources cite John Carter as the biggest financial flop.
You know, when you
Yeah,
said that initially, I thought to myself, since when is 64 million a flop opening weekend?
Now that was for
And
Mission
I
Impossible.
heard it and I thought, what?
It's relative, man.
Okay, so but no, it's still a great opening weekend domestically, right? Because all your money's going to be made overseas. 60% of your money's made overseas. Every movie's like that. So I don't know. We got to get better data around this.
Relative.
I think it's fake news.
Relative.
But they're
By the
already
way,
talking about it being a financial flop, in spite of the 500 and what'd you say, 547 million.
You talking about Mission
It's
Impossible now,
all.
or
He's
John
talking about
Carter?
Mission Impossible.
Mission
Impossible.
Impossible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll make more money once it goes to streaming. It'll make more money. Every movie makes its money back. The question is, will they do it in 2 years or 200? Just about. I mean, it's a general sort of thing. One of the first things I was told when I got into this business, outside of the thing I've also repeated, which is you cannot roll a turd in glitter forever. So there's that. But I have some housekeeping, guys. Before we pay some bills, we got to stop and pay some bills. PB just went away.
He just
That
disappeared.
motherfucker just disappeared.
He said, "Forget it. I'm done."
Yeah.
I mean, he did his piece.
It's like we sprayed.
He did his
remover
piece.
and
he did it well. I'm mad you said he's a spot.
Yeah, he just dropped the mic. But I have some housekeeping. Here's the housekeeping, Nick. A few weeks ago, I think this was the episode with Will and Maho.
Okay.
I talked about COVID, and I talked about when I got the vaccine, and it was after DJ Scooby had died of COVID. And one of our loyal listeners engaged with me on TikTok and said, "Hey, man, DJ Scooby did not die of COVID." I'm like, "Really?" Because I vividly remember the story being reported that way, because Phil Valentine, another local, he wasn't a DJ, but he was a political commentator. He was a political comment. He was like Rush Limbaugh. It's like a political commentary kind of guy. He had died of COVID. But when I looked it up, sure enough, it said he died of heart failure. Now, he died during COVID. I believe in 2022 or something like that, or a little sooner. I can't remember all the details. I just want to be clear on the housekeeping. If in fact that is the case, the story I read today, it actually was hard to find stories that were still online. There was a lot of 404 error when you actually click on the link to see the story. Sounds like it was heart failure. I don't know if COVID was related, but the official cause is heart failure. So for anybody that heard that and was offended or hurt by that or knew DJ Scooby personally, my apologies. On this podcast, we do corrections because I went to journalism school, and not this journalism that we have today, but the one that used to do corrections in their paper. So this is a correction, little housekeeping. Me. Here's the part that is true, Nick. Him passing away did motivate me to take COVID more seriously. Just period.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
So
that's the truth.
So that's the truth. Can we pay some bills?
Sure.
All right.
I enjoy that.
We'll be right
back. Get my checkbook.
What's up, people? Now, I got something for you. I want you to make it. See what I did there? You like that? I kind
of like it.
You like that? You see, make it your best season yet. Now, what does that mean? Make it your best season yet. Your best nutrition and health season yet with what? Nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. That's right. Factor is sponsoring this episode, and we appreciate that because eating well has never been this easy. With Factor, you just heat it up and enjoy, which gives you more time to do what you want. Filmmaking, hanging out with family, friends, or more importantly, watching us do what we do. But check it out. Factor has 45 weekly options, all right, on their menu. You can pick from gourmet meals that fit your goals. You can choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks. Now, the snacks are awesome because I know we're always struggling to find the right snack when we're trying to eat healthy. And of course, they have desserts. It's easy to save time and save more money as you're getting into Factor, because those meals pack in the flavor and they're actually a very good price. So I know, Chris, you're loving on these Factor meals just as much as I am. I'm over here talking. What do you got, man?
I'm loving on them. That can be taken a lot of different ways, but I think I know what you mean. Shout out to Factory though, because they sent us some meals. They sent us a bunch of meals actually, and I had several of them. I had vegetarian options, I had meat options, I had keto options, I had all these different options, and I had a ton of their smoothies. So you talk about like a healthy snack. Now, while these smoothies aren't like, I wouldn't call them like, the most, low calorie, low sugar thing in the world. They're not intended to be. They're intended to satiate, give you that snack when you want it, but also have that healthy thing to it because it's all fruit in those smoothies. Now, meal wise, I had to say I had two that I loved. I had the roasted red pepper filet mignon. It has tortellini primavera and lemon garlic butter. It was so good. I had it. It was prepared in less than 5 minutes. Like I was ready to go in 5 minutes.
There you go.
And it meets my goal that I have, right? I got vacations coming up this summer. I'm trying to get back to college Chris. College Chris was 210 pounds.
There you go.
Right. So I got 30 to lose, just to give you a sense of where I'm at today. That's incredibly personal.
Yeah,
that's what we do on the Make It podcast. But that's what it is.
Yep.
But Factor allows me to do that. And I'm already on the way. Like I'm down 10 pounds already. I'm not saying it's because of Factor, but did they help? They sure did.
Wait. It's not because of Factor, but it's a factor.
It's a factor.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Well, I just got to say, if you want to get started with this, get on this journey that we're on, you can get started at factormeals.com/make-it50-off. So that's make it, MAKEIT, the number 50 off, OFF. So make it 50 off. And you got to use that code, make it 50 off. So again, factormeals.com/make-it50 off. And then when you're there, use the code, make it 50 off, and you're going to get 50% off, right? It's already fantastic. Plus you get free shipping on your first box. Again, make it 50 off.
Summer is officially here, which means mosquito season is in full swing. Whether it's the annoying buzzing that keeps you up at night, waking up covered in bites, struggling to catch one before it disappears, or trying to keep your home safe for the kids. We've been there. I've got 3 kids. Nick has 3 kids. We've been on outdoor sets doing things. Mosquitoes are an absolute nuisance. So we've all been there. But check this out. Our sponsor for this episode is Bezigo Iris, your smart home mosquito detector.
That's right, Chris. It's an awesome sponsor for us to have because
it's different. And
it is different. But Bezigo Iris is a cutting-edge device that uses computer vision and AI to detect, track, and pinpoint mosquitoes in real time, which is pretty cool. No more guessing, no more swatting at thin air, which we always do. Just a simple, precise way to finally take control of your space. Now, once a mosquito lands, Bezigo uses an eye-safe laser to pinpoint its exact location. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
That way you don't look like a fool swatting at the
exactly
air.
Right.
Those laughing at you with their tiny little mouth.
Mess it at the air. And check it out. It also has night vision detection, so it works in total darkness using infrared technology. Man, that's like
detention or detection.
Infrared detention? I don't think so. Infrared detection, infrared technology.
Yeah. So stop losing sleep over mosquitoes, guys. Take back your nights with Bezigo Iris. Go to bezigo.com/discount/buzz10, BUZZ10, and save 10% off. That's a big number because these are, again, that's a quality product. It has a little price to it. You're going to want that 10% off. That is BZIGO.com/discount/buzz10, BUZZ10, spelled not out. So BUZZ10. So Buzz10, and use the code Buzz10 to get 10% off and say goodbye to itchy bites and sleepless nights once and for all. Thank you again, Bazigo, for sponsoring this episode. And now, Nick, let's go back to the show.
Let's do it.
And we are back to the show.
We are back.
We're back. So this meme.
Whoa, he got real close to the mic.
I'm about to get serious. I'm about to get serious. No, I'm just kidding. This meme struck me, man. Have you guys ever been like on the internet around, wasting time, flicking through each thing, and then something hits you?
No, I don't know what that's like. Can you explain it to me? It just hits you, just like you just
like
swiping.
You gotta
scrolling, and then something.
Doom scrolling. Yeah. That's what that is. That's what they call that. Doom scrolling.
We have our friend Greta.
It's happened. Well, I was just gonna say that's happened to me. And I don't know. Yeah. I got the Choco Dog, and I had to stop and look at that.
He's like, yes,
is that similar to a Dirty Sanchez? So no, our friend Greta. Shout out to Greta Quispe.
Quispe, yeah.
Love her. She's like got the best personality. She's so awesome, and like she's the type of person that I know that if we were like in the same area, we'd be instant friends, right? We'd like see each other and just hang out, and it'd be laughs all the time because she's freaking funny. But she posted something not funny. It wasn't meant to be sad or morose or anything like that, but it just wasn't comedy. But but it's this thing, and then I saw it 1,000 other times on the internet after I had stopped on it, because that's what the internet algorithms do to you. And it said, if your life were a movie, what would the audience be screaming at the screen for you to do next?
Screaming at the screen for you to do next.
And I thought, damn, that slaps. Like that hits. Like if your life were a movie, if we make this the Truman Show, what is the audience saying that, like, how could Nick not do this? Why did he walk back into, no, I'm just kidding. What is happening? Or like, why did Papa Bear make that choice? Or are they screaming, yes, Papa Bear, that's exactly what you were supposed to do? Like, it takes you out of your own life and then puts you in the position of this objective viewer that happens to be watching your show, so they are rooting for you. So it's implied that not only are you the star of your own life, because it's your life that they're watching, but it also implies that the watcher is a fan. The watcher is rooting for you. It's like an angel on your shoulder. And I thought, man, that hits hard. I got to talk to the boys about this. So what do you think, PB?
So
what do you think, Nick?
Yeah.
Is this one too hard?
No, I've got a thought. But PB, what do you think?
I know. It could be skydiving. Just
Maybe.
go and skydive. But I recently thought about that, and I said, no, if I do that, that could well be the last thing I do.
We were in Greece, and we were in I think it was Mykonos or Santorini, one of the two, and someone was talking about skydiving or hang gliding, and the people were just people, like the people you bought the skydiving tour from, or not skydiving, but the hang gliding tour from. They're just guys. They're like not bonded, not insured. Like they're just guys like in Turkey, like say, hey, we got a cliff. If you want to hang glide off of it, you can. We'll help you. So they just went and got the equipment. Like, you got to be careful. You got to like know that you're dealing
no waivers.
With, like, really, really like these are pros. There's consequences if you die. Like things like that. Like there are people doing crazy shit. So yeah, PB, exactly. Like I don't. After what happened in New York, I will never consider getting on a helicopter. Like, even if I'm Dr. Evil Rich, I'm like, helicopters are, It's just like they're not being maintained right. They're not being regulated. The Indian Air flight, they had 144 flights. I think that's the number that had been delayed due to maintenance before that big crash. And then I had a lot of people come up to me and go, after that one guy got up and walked off the plane, he was a single survivor, like the movie Unbreakable.
Yeah.
I had, and maybe he is Bruce Willis from Unbreakable, which would be amazing. I know M. Night's doing a backflip, but people came up to me and were like, "Isn't God good? Isn't God good? Isn't that divine intervention?" I'm like,
you mean for all the other people?
Do you have no idea how perverse that statement is? I said the only thing that happened is that he sat in seat 11A, and 11A happened to be the perfect seat for him to survive. Because what kind of deity are you praising that would let the other 200 people die in that manner? Right? Like, so it just falls apart itself. But anyway, the point is it made me think about, see, PB, it might not matter to like it may not be a thing for you right now, but it may have been a thing for you 30, 40 years ago where you were at a fork in the road. Like, if you have big decisions to make that will dictate how the rest of your life goes, that meme hits you, is my point. Nick, your thoughts?
So I live multiple lives, right? You've got maybe a day job life. You've got a parent life. I've got a husband life. I've got a homeowner life. I give all these lives, right? So it's not as simple as a movie where in the movie you really see them for the one thing.
Don't you have a podcast life?
Well, I was going to get to that.
Okay. He also catches wild animals. So
there you go. Yeah. So you have these lives, them. And what's really cool about this, I guess it's not a meme, but it's just a reflection piece.
Yeah, is
that if I like it, I don't know if that I have the answer just yet. I mean, I do have one for like one of those lives, but I'm not going to say it. But if I think about each of the lives on my own and I reflect on a slightly different question, which is, what would my cheerleader be saying to me right now? Like if my biggest advocate, right? Like you said, that's the audience. Like they're supporting you, right? They're yelling something. They want something for you.
From you or for you. Yeah.
For you, right? If they go for you, from you. But what would they say to me as a husband? And let's say right now, as a husband, I got to figure out whether or not I'm going on this trip with my wife during this crazy stuff that's happening internationally. Like, do we make this trip based off of what's happening in the world? And honestly think that my cheerleader would be like, you got to do this, man.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go, bro. Like, don't let this stuff hold you back. Like, yes, there are some risks. Yes, there's this fear about what could or could not happen. But like, this is a moment in your marriage that's going to be amazing for you.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what they're saying. They're saying, go on this trip, bro. Like, make that thing, like, just do it. And I think that's, so I love the idea, because then it makes me think about each of those different lives and what is the next thing. And like the podcast right now, it's like, guys, like, people are rooting for us. They want us to have an A-lister on here with us talking.
Yeah.
Right. Why? Not because they just want to see an A-lister. They want the best for us.
Yeah.
They know that if we get this A-list talent, that our platform will grow.
Yep.
And they want us to be successful. So let's go
so
get that.
Funny
A-list.
You're saying that, man. I had someone call me today and say, hey, man, I was thinking about you. There's this person that I know of that said that has 1 million followers. He used to film for the Neck Boys or Nelk Boys, they're huge YouTubers, right? If you don't know who they are, everybody that's watching this probably knows who they are. They, I think they started Happy Dad beer and all that stuff. I'm not sure about that 100%, so don't hold me to it. But I just know they're huge on YouTube. And apparently this guy's like, I want to be in a movie, or I want to make a movie. Who can help me? And this person's like, oh, this is perfect. They have a giant following, and they can come on your show, and you can actually help them make a movie or be in a movie. Like, you can actually help them. Like, so it's mission driven for us, is the point.
Exactly.
Like, which is our mission and vision, is to really, through multimedia platforms, uplift people's artistic goals and dreams, and bring them on and give them a platform to talk like for example, we've had, DPs, we've had ADs, we've had makeup art, we've had wardrobe, we've had all these positions across the spectrum of film. We don't just put actors on here. That's really what makes us different. We're really supporting the whole thing. But so that's so true. Like, people want to see us win so badly, and they just know, they already know. That's the other part of the meme that's crazy, is it's implied in the meme that the audience knows your future.
Yeah, they're saying, or they're
Same way we
want
watch a
you,
movie and can guess
what's next. Right. Yeah.
we can guess
So that's
the
it.
move
Yeah,
the character's
I
about
love
to
that.
make is about to their life up, or they're about to like go in the direction where like their dream is right there, and then in Act 3 they, the writer steals that away again and lets them fight one more time for it. Shout out to Joseph Campbell. But like but that you're right. You're living all these lives and you're trying to think about what's the right move to make. Is it the right thing to keep grinding in this direction, go this direction? Who are the right people to have around you? And there's the idea that there's this unknown audience member who knows how your life ends, but is unable, similar to McConaughey in Interstellar when he goes in the black hole, like, is unable to reach you in the normal way. And maybe we call
it's
that the
not that they
universe. Maybe
know.
we call that those little signs we get.
Yeah, but they
Isn't that
don't
what
know
Tupac said?
what's going to
Tupac said you can
happen.
run the red lights, but always read the street signs.
Yeah, they don't know what's going to happen, but they are trying to get you either to do something great or avoid something terrible.
Yeah.
Right. That's that thing that, what to do next. Don't go in that room.
Yeah, we say that in horror movies, right? Like, we're like, oh, well,
right. We don't know what's going to happen to you, but we know if you go in that room, something terrible is going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. So
I like that horror
that's
films did figure that out, by the way, over the years. Like, they figured out because the audience, they're like, no, black people don't run in the woods when they're scared.
No, we don't.
But I know you need to kill the black character first, but there's no black person that runs in the woods away from a murderer.
Chris,
that just
I'm
doesn't
gonna tell you that.
and they stop killing the black person first too.
I want to play. So if anybody's making a movie and you're looking for a black guy to possibly get killed, I might be okay with that. Because I want to play this specific role.
Okay.
This highly unbelievable role. I'm going to run from something dangerous and then I'm going to trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the unbelievable thing I'm going to do. I'm going to trip. I'm just going to trip. I'm going to trip. Ah! And I'm going to scream just like, ah! I want to play that part, and it's just going to be wonderful. Like I said, I'll take 37 takes of that same part, man. Just give me that little bump in the sidewalk.
Yeah.
That thing that, like, only that one friend trips on.
And is that racist for them to assume that you can't trip because you're black?
Right. Come on, man. Long strides and paying attention.
Stop being racist, PB. He can trip just because he's black doesn't mean he can't trip.
Exactly. And give me something ridiculous. I want to trip on a balloon.
Yeah. We need to talk about balloons.
You're right.
Jennifer Bonnier.
You trip over a shadow across a...
There you go. That's it. That's it.
Well, you talked about podcasting, Nick, and I'd love to chat about it because there's a lot of noise around AI in film and movies. Less noise about podcasting for now. And the reason my guess, guys, is because of what we said already. 600 million, 800 million spent on MI, 250 million spent on apparently John Carter in 2012. There's just big money in disrupting it. Like, there's that people think, oh, AI is going to come in and then all that money is going to like shrink down, like it's going to cost nothing, and then we'll have what's actually happening is a transfer of wealth and value from studios and networks and streamers to the people who make those tools, so that those billions of dollars don't go away. They get siphoned off into valuation into the AI companies that make it. And that's why, you have film people that are embracing it, like Spielberg, right? Like that are part of Runway, or because if they don't, then all that value siphons off into places like Google and OpenAI and XAI and Perplexity, Anthropic. All that value goes to those places. But because there hasn't been, when you really think about the world of podcasting, there's just a small handful of people that bring in incredible dollar amounts, but nothing compared to the top films. It's just not there. That's just not where podcasting is, right? Like, no matter what Joe Budden says, I mean, he makes a lot of money. That was a story that recently he accidentally showed how much money he makes in podcasts. He makes a ton of money. We know Joe Rogan makes a ton of money. We know Jason Bateman has the best podcast in film and maybe in the industry, makes a ton of money. We know Spotify and iHeart are great places to do podcasts. Charlemagne, Andrew Scholes, like these guys, Theo Vaughn, they make great money and they do great podcasts. They have great YouTube channels. Totally get it, but that doesn't compare to the top 100 or 200 films. So you're hearing about that first. Also, the bar to make a movie is really high, right? It's incredibly difficult to make a good movie, where you could turn around a really good song in a day or less if you're good. You can turn around a good podcast pretty quick too, or at least a very interesting recording, right? Shout out to our buddy and friend of the podcast, Maki Dap. He was like, "Yeah, I went and listened to Jason Bateman's podcast because they were interviewing Denny Villeneuve. How do you pronounce Villeneuve? Like I'm terrible at French, but the director of Dune. Forgive me.
Devaney.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, well, of course you would listen to Denny talk. He's directing some of the best movies in the world, and you're a director. Like, of course you would go do that. So, I mean, that's kind of where, podcasting is at the very top. And so where does AI fit into that? I mean, it fits in, a lot of places when you think about how these models can mimic voices and like literally just produce a podcast. So we know about Notebook, ML with Google. We know about Whisperflow. We know about 11 Labs. So all these AI agents, there'll just be more and more and more that can do it. And the question is, both as a podcaster and as a filmmaker, do you fight it? Because now is the time. Do you fight against this thing and say, no AI, we're not doing this? Listen, we've had the conversations internally here on this podcast. Like, we have a podcast series that to me is like, it's called Summaries. It's got AI hosts. And to me, it was like, here's how I viewed it. I don't think I've ever said this to either of you guys. Here's how I viewed it. I can either let some AI company train off our catalog for free because they're going to steal it and use it and whatever, or we can monetize our back catalog, which no podcaster has really figured out a good way to do that. I don't care how big it is. We can monetize our own back catalog and at least have some agency in that, and then do it our way, utilize the back catalog, and accept the fact that this is the future. There's a silliness in trying to deny it. It's like standing on a hill and saying, I will not connect to the internet in 1995. And that's how I saw it. But I do get the other side of it, which is we don't want to be associated with someone doing our work for us. So
no, yeah. So I think
we don't want to be associated with fake.
Yeah.
Anything.
So for me, yeah, it's you can't say you're not gonna embrace AI or understand it and move forward.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You can stay where you are, and that's fine. You just can't move forward. It's just a matter of how you use it and how it uses you, right? How you allow it to use you. And in podcasting, there's just so much content that we create as podcasters. And the tool that AI is it gives you the ability to leverage that content very quickly in other ways. So things that you would have done anyway, but now you can do it just faster by using AI, right? You can summarize your episode, which is great, right?
Yeah,
Create a summary and provide
there's
it to
certain
people,
AIs that are acceptable.
right? There's social
Show
media
notes.
posts where you want to share the information with people in different ways.
Yeah.
The show notes, as you just mentioned. So there's a lot of different ways to leverage the content. It just helps you do it faster. I think the challenge that most of us have with how we're the part we want to battle back against is when you're not actually doing any of the work. And then people will say, well, writing that prompt, no, that's not work. You are giving everything to the AI. You're saying, write me a country song about this topic with this type of beat behind it. Go.
Yeah.
That's no work. You've done no work, right? You didn't give it the beat. You didn't give it the lyrics and then ask it to do something different. Right. So the thing is that not only is that the thing that we're battling against, this artificial creation of the content, but it's also just how it's going to further dilute the creative. Because what happens then is, because all you had to do is write a prompt, then everyone can do that. And it's going to happen so fast, and there's going to be so much of it. Then where do we find the talent? Because remember, we're in this space. I think it was a couple of years ago, we were talking about people have the attention span of a gnat, and it was like, that's like 7 seconds or something like that. Yeah. And now like we're below that. They're saying like, well, really, you want to hook people in the first 3 seconds? 3 freaking bookings. Hello. All right, 3 seconds is gone. It's like, what are you talking about? So if that's how we, and then when I say we, of course, it's the broader we. Yeah. If we are leaning into just consumption, then the AI stuff is going to take over, because we don't care to be intellectually fed, right? We don't care to have a personal connection with the actor, the artist, the work itself. If we're just consuming, then yeah, man, the AI is just, everybody's going to use it. Because they're like, hey, you didn't want quality. You just want stuff.
Yeah. I don't think we can consume all that's going to come. We're already exploding with content. And then you throw AI out there making content as well. There's going to be more content that can be consumed. And, what happens to us? Are we going to turn into mush with all this content?
Like Wall-E.
Another thing I thought about when you were talking about feeding AI with the prompts, are we going to get to the point where we declare that our prompts are intellectual property?
Yeah, I think that it only depends.
Gregory, that.
It only depends,
because all
on
writers want to protect their stuff.
Joshua Lastine.
Yeah, it all depends on the nature of the prompt, because and who knows? I think that maybe at some point, we talk about NASA's prompts are like a page, right? It's super expensive, but they're a page long. I could see that, because every one of those words is like you're writing an algorithm. Mm-hmm. You're writing an algorithm that is going to guarantee you the best result for what you're trying to get, versus the prompt that I just mentioned, which is write me a song that does this, it does that. And then maybe you tweak it here and there in the studio or whatever, if you do that at all. But that stuff is so basic. But I just want to get back to what you said about the content. I think we are going to consume that content. Like you said, there's going to be so much of it. That's where the attention span shrinks. That's the scary part for me, which is I don't need 7 seconds of enjoyment. I might need 3. And then I'm spent, it's just, and I just swipe. I'm just swiping. I'm doom scrolling, because there's so much content that again, is doom scrolling. I'm going into the rabbit hole of stuff. And if I don't care about the level of quality, or not even level of quality, let's say all that crap is high quality, there's a lot of it, I have no connection to the creator. That's the concern for me with AI. That's the concern for me with conversations about films. That's the same concern for me when it comes to these movie stars and the fact that they're going away. We're losing our connection to humanity in all of this. Yeah. And I'm seeing it across the board, and it's scary.
So my question, though, to you guys is, if you've read the book A Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, and I think, by the way, it's Villeneuve, Denis Villeneuve. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. My bad. Me, I've had some beverages. Anyway, the point is I'm trying to make, and the question I'd like to ask the audience and you guys is Brave New World. Are we the native person in the book? Are we going to make the choice to hang on to the culture and humanity that you talked about, Nick, that we grew up with, that we have, or even a time before we grew up that we had? Or are we going to race into Tron, right? Like into, what Yuval Noah Harari calls, Homo Deus, where we just go ahead and meld with machines and just make it official. There's a lot of people who argue and say this thing in your hand, like you already have melded with a machine. To your point about consuming
Oh
everything,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
this just isn't in your body, but it will be. But we already walk around with it and can't live without it.
Yeah, it sucks because we're in a place like the information age, right? This idea of there's no real thing as I don't know
Yeah.
anymore,
Yeah.
right? Because you can quickly find out.
Yeah.
So that's to me, that's the biggest drug with all this stuff. Forget the social media and all that kind of stuff. It's like my son asked me something, and it's weird because like the kids will ask, they ask you obscure questions,
Mhm.
right? Like, they're just and it's so like, how am I supposed to know the answer to that question? Where do bees come from, bro? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The air,
No.
the
Yeah.
flower, the ground. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, but I can look that up.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a choice when my kid asks me a question. I can just say, bro, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. If it, like, again, you ask about like John Wick. When was the first John Wick movie? I don't grab the thing and look it up. Right.
Yeah.
So that is the drug that brings me
But we
into
had
this.
that was Google. It's just faster.
No. What I'm saying is that's
And now you
that's
get
what I mean.
context with it.
The information age, it ties you to those devices because of it.
Yeah.
And I think AI is another extension of that because it can give you the answers faster. You don't have to look for the answer. You just ask the question.
Yeah.
Right. And then with content, you're going to be fed with that as well. There's so much of it to consume that, again, if you're in a consumption mindset, it's very easy to go back to the devices. But to answer your question, I think there's going to be the folks who they don't know any better. They were born into this, and they're just going to keep going. There's those of us who know better or know different, and I think we're going to hold on to some of that while understanding that we don't have a choice but to be aware and pulled along. And then there's the people who aren't as close to the technology, who are one maybe generation removed, who are like, "Nah, I'm good. Like, y'all just go do your thing.
It'll be
I'm good in my
interesting
space for as long as I'm here."
There's a part of me that's like we're close to the requiem. We're close to the ballad. We're close to the lamenting. We are like closer than we think. Like it feels like at some point there is this sense of loss. Like it's over. Now Dick Gregory said it all the time. It's shout out to Dick Gregory. It's over. Like, and maybe in a way it's over because for those last two cohorts you mentioned, Nick, they will be made obsolete. They will be obsolete and they won't be able to grab land or make purchases or carve out a place for themselves to live easily because those advanced humans that meld with machines or that employ and deploy machines will just come take that from you. And so it really is sad because at some point, wherever that battle line is drawn, wherever that red line is, guys, it is a choice to continue to live on in a way that you find disgusting, maybe, or to die. To say this is it, end of the line.
Yeah, well, that's a little sad, but I'll just say that I think there's
It's crazy, right?
yeah,
But it's
yeah,
crazy.
but you've got all. Yeah, I think we're
And I
still in
guess
a
the
place
choice I've
where
made is just
you
to
can
say
be.
I'm going to go with it. I'm
Yeah,
here to
and
say I
I
will
think
probably meld with a
again we're
machine.
in the middle.
If I
We're in the
need to
middle.
do it, I probably will.
Yeah, we're in the
I
middle,
want
and
to
I
see my
think
kids
we
grow up.
have the best
You
of
know?
both worlds,
Yeah.
right? And like I said, there's generations removed from us that don't have to go there. They're like, look, I've got so many years left.
Yep.
I'm going to live it the way that I want to live it. I don't have to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Godspeed, right? You guys, the younger generations, go do that. But remember, we're in the middle, so we're still pulling our children back a little bit. We want them to go forward. We want them to learn and understand and be able to leverage these things as tools, but we don't want our children to become tools. Right. That's the main thing. So we're still holding on to both.
And that's the question. What is the battle line? What is the final straw that has to break the camel's back where people like me, you, Papa Bear, stand up and say, no, we're not going to allow this generation to become tools. We're going to keep this as a tool. And that's why I've always said, before you push all your chips in on AGI, advanced artificial general intelligence, take a few chips for the next dark ages, because all it takes is one despot to say, use AI, we assassinate you, right? That's on the table. And the only reason I say it's on the table is because historically it's been true. If you ever wondered how one man with a few friends can control 40 million people in a country, I'll tell you a lot about who we are as a collective and what we're like when we get singled out by a group, right? We do what we're told. We tend to. And so we have a very interesting next 5 years. I think in podcasting, what makes it really cool is that the AI cannot predict what I'm going to do or say next. And as long as that's relatively true, because they haven't trained on me yet, then this will always be entertaining and true and authentic. And I think there will be like a counter market where people will be willing to spend money on authentically made things while also appreciating the amazing, miraculous things that can actually be created with AI. So,
well, I'm still over here messing with Netflix. I love the fact that they can't figure me out. They keep
think
sending
I'm
me crap
Hispanic.
I don't want. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you don't know me. You don't know
Hulu
me.
thinks I'm Hispanic too.
The
They
algorithm.
only send me ads in Spanish, bro.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm
I had a
gonna
lot of
keep messing
Hispanic
with them.
people in
Like
my
that's my
life.
thing.
Shout out to the Hispanics in my life. But like so Hulu thinks I'm Puerto Rican or something. Shout out to
Nice.
Bonsai John.
There you go.
So yeah. Anyway, that's a show, guys.
Cool.
I think we did
Yeah,
the damn
that's a
thing.
wrap. That's good, man. That's awesome. We
Don't
did.
you have
A
an
great
ebook?
conversation.
I loved
Say
it.
what?
Yeah, I loved it.
What'd you say?
Don't you
You have
have an
something for me?
ebook that you wrote, by the way?
Oh yeah, man. I do. Mastering film marketing.
Oh shit.
I get a little pregnant Paul, tiny.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 3 months, not your 14-month pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's great. It's out there on our beacons. Again, you can just check it out down below in the show notes. It's always there, whether it's on Apple, you're on Spotify, you're watching this on YouTube. Right down below, there's the link to it. But check it out. It's something we always talk about on this podcast, is how independent filmmakers need to be focused on their marketing. You need eyeballs on your
Market
stuff.
your movie. Papa Bear talked about it earlier.
Yep, that's right.
The
So you want to
filmmakers
get that marketing.
themselves thought that it was an inside job, that Disney did not promote their movie properly because they didn't want a competing entity against Star Wars, which Bob Iger was about to purchase.
Yeah, but it's marketing.
That's how important marketing is.
Right? It flopped because of the bad marketing. So
Yep.
don't flop because of bad marketing. These are choices that you can make. So make the right choice and support your filmmaking journey by
If you
putting
must
eyeballs
flop,
on
flop
your
in the
work.
ocean.
So check
Flop in a
out
pool.
Mastering Film Marketing. And I also say that it is, reviewed, signed off, endorsed by Jim Frederick. Right?
Bing, bang, boom.
Exactly.
That was interesting. So real quick, I gotta let
Jim
people
Frederick.
know.
Shout out to Jim Frederick.
Yeah, Jim Frederick, author of Opening Weekend, and also we're talking about former studio marketing executive at Castle Rock, Warner Brothers, and Sony Screen Gems. So you're talking about, this is legit. This is not a small person in the marketing space. The work was inspired by him, and it's actually, again, endorsed by him.
Can I explain to the
He said
people,
we did a
Nick?
great job.
Can I explain to the people what Beacons is, please?
Please do. Go for it.
I've gotten the sense that we just say Beacons because we say Beacons. Like the three of us, we say, our Beacons, our Beacons.
The links are in the.
If you don't know what Beacons is, Beacons is a better, richer, in our opinion, version. Shout out to Beacons. Beacons, call us. We would love to partner with you on the podcast. Richer version of LinkedIn bio. So if you know what a LinkedIn bio is, then Beacons is a competing service to that Not that we have anything against LinkedIn bio. I'm saying we use Beacons. Beacons has these deep suites of creation and monetization and communication and marketing built into their product. And so we've put the ebook up there. We've put other products up there. It's been really great. And let's just put our best foot forward. And frankly, it makes it easy. So that's what it is, beacons.ai. And if you go there, I think it's beacons.ai/make it podcast.
Yeah, and you'll see again, all the links are right down below.
And the links
Make
are
it easier on
below. So
yourself.
go to there, you'll see it.
Yep.
Download the book and market your great film. Market it's
That's
your
right.
baby. Go market it. Anyway,
Yep.
Nick, Papa Bear, this has been a blast, a wonderful conversation. If you guys are here on YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, share. It means the world to us to if you do that.
Right.
If you're listening to this podcast, same thing, review and subscribe. We'd like to we would love to see the podcast with 1K reviews. I think that would be great. It helps with discoverability on Apple and on Spotify. So please do that. And if you're on YouTube, look us up. You can just search for the Make It Podcast. For some reason, I think, Nick, you have to put the Make It Podcast and we'll come right up. We really have a well thought out, in my opinion, a little biased, well thought out platform. We get a ton of engagement on our posts and our shorts. So come be part of that community, please. If you want to reach out to us on social media, we answer all the direct messages, all the comments, literally every comment someone's ever left on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, we've responded to. So you can find us on those channels at _Make It Podcast. That's on Instagram, that's on TikTok, and that's on X. So do reach out to us there. And if you want to learn more about the world of Make It in general, that's www.themakeitpodcast.com. And you can go to our Cotton Bureau shop, learn about me and Nick's journey in filmmaking, and so much more. So with that, Nick, can you please leave us with the credo?
Yes, sir. Per usual. As the kids say, per usual.
The credo is so hot right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's hot outside right now.
Mm-hmm.
To our filmmaking friends, fans, family out there, be better, be creative, be engaged.
And thank you for listening. Nick, talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. We'll do it again. PB, appreciate you,
See
man.
you next time.
Yep.
Bye.
That's easy.
Bye.